abusia micha na misanso mo akwa by my channel so hada so ye be media GH. Abusia for the minority leader Alexander Afenyo marking they say and someone eko papa iso no ano eden. Yes. Ano eden papa abusia ene eyade a vetting committee member ba kon aba abonten e the message e de ama eye Alexander Afenyo marking a o cheni semu a the minority no omo empo eyade a Bafu Boni and the Chief Justice of Ghana. Omumpo, Ono, and the Chief Justice of Ghana. Omopa, just say, Omo press conference, do one person obey. Omopa, Omo and stage walkout, Omope. Omopa, Omo and demonstrating and striking against the vetting of our acting Chief Justice Bafu Boni. He will still become the Chief Justice of Ghana. Nabusia. We dem am kasa tete pese ekonekuti ensem ode tudwa abra Alexander Afenyo marking ade ensem bi ade atudwa yetie emu nsem message hada so be media je wode subscribe like na bo ahia for person be tie no enya bi ente yentie ensem akoso
you are saying that this is your plan. You already have the point.
That's not true. If that were the case, we could have just done a press conference and we don't even need to come here. So that is not the case. We all agreed. We had a meeting. I have my questions. That's why I have my file. The questions that we're going to ask, everybody has his questions to ask. He is going to be the Chief Justice of the whole nation, whether you are MPP or NDC or majority or minority. So it is for all of us to make sure that we get the best for the country. And therefore we plan to partake in the process, but if they are not allowing us, we don't see how. And the last thing we would want to prevent is to something happen in this very room where people engage in fists and whatnot, to the extent that others even said that people went under the table and held other parts of the places that I don't want to mention. If all laughing, you reported it. But we don't want to get there, so let's give peace a chance.
Honorable, in similar instances, for instance, when some seats were declared and you were against the parliamentary procedure, you proceeded to court. Why did you fail to do so in this instance?
Well, there are so much processes. There are a lot of things we could do, even in parliament here. And I already told you that, and I was a member. I personally appended my signature to the motion that we put before the speaker, and we got the notice, I think on Friday night or Saturday morning, that the speaker did not, yes, on Thursday night, that the speaker did not admit it. And between Friday and Monday, I don't know how fast we could be to file a process in court. So maybe we can consider that, or probably it is shows.
You consider
elevations across political divides, but I think the current system for us, it follows the Constitution. If the Constitution is going to be amended to give us a different mode of appointment, then that's it. But the current system with Superior Court judges up to Court of Appeal, they are appointed by the Judicial Council, by the President, in consultation with the Council of State on the advice of the Judicial Council. And the Judicial Council is made up of persons apart from four nominees of the presidency. We have the JUSAG represented, we have the lower bench represented, we have a High Court representative, Court of Appeal representative, a Supreme Court representative. We have institutional representatives like representation from, let's say, the police, the army. These are all members who come from different backgrounds and they have contributions to make. And they advise the nomination or the nomination appointment of members of the court up to the Court of Appeal. So, and when it comes to even selection of nominees for the president to appoint, we have persons who are mentioned by the Attorney General, who is a government person. But then we have the Chief Justice also bringing nominees. And then we have the Ghana Bar Association also bringing nominees. So what happens is that there is a list produced by these three groups. The Chief Justice normally bases his or her nominations on seniority at the bench, performance, and other things. Maybe if a person has disparate proceedings against him, that's a different matter. Then the Attorney General also nominates, and then the Bar Association have the chance to nominate persons from the bar and also from the bench. The idea is that the bench, our performance is also always reviewed by the lawyers, by the bar. So we have a situation where when these three lists are produced, you find a particular, let's say we want an appointment to the High Court. You will find a particular circuit court judge whose name appears in the list of the Chief Justice, in the list of the bar, and in the list of the Attorney General, because the bar is the beneficiary of the efforts of the judges. So the judges make recommendation. In the same way, when lawyers appear before us, we know those who are good and those who are bad. And we also know those who have the temperament and the demeanor and everything that can make them judges. It's not every good lawyer who can be a judge. So sometimes we on our own. I have mentored so many lawyers, and I'll tell you, I can tell you that you will be a good material, so apply to join the bench. So even though the Chief Justice normally nominates from the people from the bench, the Chief Justice could also nominate somebody from the bar. So when these nominations are done, it go to the presidency, and then even though the wording is that it is done on the advice of the Judicial Council, and the Supreme Court has said that the Judicial Council's advice doesn't bind the president. Nevertheless, I have been a member of the Judicial Council, and currently I am its chair, acting chair. If 40 people go through our net at the Judicial Council, less than one or a maximum of 2 may not be taken by the presidency. So the advice, we say it doesn't bind them, but in reality they listen to us, because the president knows that it is the Chief Justice and the Attorney General who deal with these people. So if they make this advice, and so with this kind of nomination from these 3 people, how people can talk about political, I can't really understand. With the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice, over the years, this is how it has been done. It is I think, well, I know in Kenya, things are done differently. The Judicial Council or Judicial Commission is very empowered. But whatever it is, the president has a say. And at least that is what our constitution says. If Ghanaians believe that the constitution should be changed to give power to other persons, other bodies to nominate the Chief Justice or the President, Supreme Court judges, then they can lobby the Parliament for honorable members to have a look at it.
Thank you. Honorable members, on this note, we will then proceed to take questions from members of the subject matter committee in line with Order 217. Honorable members, subject matter committee members can ask 3 questions, but they are only entitled to 2 supplementary, if any. So, Honorable Bede Asidin, you have the floor. The name is Bede Asidin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I was going to correct it because you are putting the wrong name to go into the Hansard, and I object to that. Anyway, thank you very much for the opportunity. My Lord, congratulations for this nomination. And I think that you deserve this nomination. You have served this country for such a long time, and I believe that what is happening today is the icing of the cake. And
thank you very much.
We will proceed to ensure that you enjoy this cake. Let me also use the opportunity to thank you for the guidance that you provided me whilst I was in practice. I appeared before you a couple of times, and I think that I was impressed with the way and manner you guided me throughout. I didn't stay there for long and came out to my political field. But I appreciate what I got. Thank you very much, my Lord. My Lord, I have a few questions, and I will send you back to the issue of the appointment of judges to the bench. And as you have already stated, this has been provided for under Article 44 of the Constitution. And that provision gives the President the power to nominate and appoint justices of the High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. Yes, there are certain processes that go through, but ultimately, it is the President that we see. That's what the Constitution has provided for. He does the nomination and he does the appointment, in spite of all that. You have tried to explain that even though...
Honorable, you are violating our rules. Please ask question.
I'm asking the question. I'm laying the my mic is. My Lord, I want to find out from you. Do you agree with the current arrangement in terms of the appointment of judges to the High Court, Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, the current arrangement as provided under the Constitution? Or do you think that we can have some other arrangement? And if we can have some other arrangement, what type of arrangement should it be? Thank you, my Lord.
I do. You asked me whether I think the current arrangement is okay or it should be adjusted. I think that the current arrangement in football, we say if it isn't broken, you fix it only when it's broken. The current arrangement has served us well from 1992 till now. It's not broken. You shouldn't fix it. I believe that the current arrangement, see, the Constitution, as we have always said, must be read in such a way. You should read every phrase and every sentence, every word in the Constitution. And then, if you look at the practice, as I said, as you rightly said, the nomination and appointment and everything is done by the president. But I have told you what goes on in reality. And in reality, the Judicial Council plays a very crucial role. We advise, the Attorney General has a role to play, the Bar Association has a role to play. And so you may not have this laid down in the Constitution, but in practice, this is what goes on. And that's why I'm saying that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm comfortable with the current arrangement of appointing judges. And that is how I see it.
Thank you. Before allowing you to proceed with your second question, I want to remind all of us about Standing Order 88.7, and I read, a member in asking a question shall not address the House, raise any argument, or offer an opinion. So let's keep to these rules, and then we can make progress. Now, your second question, if any.
Mr. Chairman, I have a supplementary question.
Yes.
My Lord, my supplementary question is that, having heard you, and you are convinced about your position, how do we remove the suspicion or allegation that some presidents try to pack the course? How do we remove that one? Even though people go through all these processes, and yet the allegation is that
you are violating the rules that I've just read. So please, my Lord, your answer to the supplementary question.
People suspect that in the first place, what is packing the courts? Are we talking about the number of persons appointed to the court or what? Yes. I don't know how people's suspicions can be dealt with, but as far as I'm concerned, as I said, persons have been promoted on the advice of the Judicial Council. If 40 people, names of the current lists, on the advice of the Judicial Council, 41 persons' names were sent to the presidency, and only 4 out of the 41 names were taken out, and even only on the grounds that they had not finished with the background check, as at the time they were because I was sitting on I was pleading with the president that we needed to have these people sworn in so that the legal year could begin with the courts full. But the president, they had not finished with the national security clearance for all of them. In the long run, out of 41 recommended by the Judicial Council, made up of members of the bar, members of the judiciary, members of the Attorney General's representative, these 37 out of the 41 names were sent to the presidency, and only 4 were not taken. if anybody sits outside and says that the president has packed the court, how am I going, how will I be able to convince such a person that it's not the president actually who put the 37 people there? We did. He only took our advice. So it is not as if people's suspicions are going about that. You cannot go about trying to assuage people. You can't do that. People will still have their suspicions. One of the questions that I got was, people are saying I got my nomination as a result of 2013. I have explained my way. If people still have that feeling, can I do anything about it?
Thank you very much. Yes, any further questions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. My second question.